you get tired, just say shut up.
Shut up.
When I was in the National Guard, we went to Hazard. I think I went twice for the floods. I think about 2 years apart. But anyway, one of the floods in Hazard's got two main drags. One goes east and one goes west, and they tie together at the ends. They got two stoplights, or at the time I had two stoplights. But anyway, down near the middle of those two long drags, there's a mall. They called it a mall that went from one street to the other street, and it was nothing but a real narrow, dark hall. But off of that hall, there were about 15 or 20 small shops, and my company was there to help clean out those shops along that mall and any other shops in the vicinity that were in the flood. And so we went down the hall, and you go in here and help these people, you go here, well, it ended up I got this little shop that these two ladies owned, and it was a lingerie shop. I didn't know it when I walked in. We had to dip the mud out of the mall before we could open the doors to any of these stores. But anyway, we got the mud out of the mall, and then we went in this lingerie shop, and of course it had mud in it too. It was 6 or 8 inches deep. Had to shovel it out one shovel at a time, and walk out into the mall, and go to the street, and dump it in the street, and then the fire trucks would wash the mud down into the receding water. Anyway, the first thing that those ladies wanted me to do was to go in there and get all the brassieres that were up high enough that didn't get muddy and dirty. So I went in there grabbing just hands, arms full of brassieres, and bring them out, and they'd take them down, put them in my Jeep, and when we got the Jeep loaded, we took it to some storage place somewhere, and they put it all in there and came back and started getting the dirty lingerie. Started pulling out these dirty brassieres and hosing them down and handing them to them. And anyway, the first sergeant came by in a few minutes, and he started laughing when he saw all those brassieres and underpants and everything that we were rinsing out. And he got tickled, and everybody was laughing. And he stayed there about 15, 20 minutes helping us. And then he finally left. And here he comes back a few minutes later and brought the battery commander with him, and he came in and helped us. He was laughing his head off too. That was we were there for 2 weeks cleaning that mud out of those damn buildings.
This is Frankfurt?
In Hazard.
Oh, Hazard.
Yeah.
Wow. The Brassiere Brigade.
Yeah.
Things you have to do in service.
And that's part of your service as a veteran?
Part of my active duty service. Another time I went to Hazard during one of the floods, we stayed in it was an empty hotel gone out of business, but we stayed in, I think we were on the second or third floor in this hotel, and this is one of the bad floods. There's a lot of people drowning in it, and down the street, down at the end of the street where the east and west streets meet, there's a Texaco station. It was about the lowest place in the town, I guess, and it was all, the pumps were all, you couldn't even see the pumps, and there was a whole lot of debris floating in there, and they told me there was a body in there, and I looked over there, and it looked like a body, what I was looking at, but I didn't want to get any closer to see it. But anyway, it took them a long time to get the body out of there, because they didn't have a boat big enough. They had to have 3 people to get the body out, and they didn't have a boat big enough to get the body and 3 people in it, so they were waiting for a bigger boat. And on that trip, all the whole company was doing was providing transportation for the mayor and the commissioners and all the dignitaries in the town. So that's two flood hazard duties I pulled.
Do you remember who was mayor then?
I don't remember. No, I sure don't. But I sure hauled a lot of people around. They didn't have to be dignitaries, really. Anytime anybody wanted to ride, they just jump in my Jeep. They take them wherever they want to go. It wasn't but a mile long stretch. The whole town wasn't but about a mile long at that time.